I'm so excited to talk about this topic here. Thank you all for those of you watching this, whether you're with me live or if you were watching this on screen. I just want to say thank you for sharing your time. And so I'm excited to get into a different sort of topic, right? And so this is going to be about questions. I've been getting asked a lot. What's so important is Duran, video is great. The strategies are phenomenal, but people still sometimes aren't even connecting and I'm forgetting what to even say sometimes. And so this here is just for that. So this is called the Science of Online Sales Experience. And so we got 20 questions that leverage NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming. I know it didn't even sound right coming out my mouth, but I'm gonna break down exactly what that means. But ultimately, this is gonna help us have more conversations that are gonna lead to more customers coming into our dealerships or us going to them. So let's hop into it. I don't want to take too much of your time, so I'm gonna go through this quickly. So that way you can always go back to just those specific questions that you want to practice. And here, this will be in Cage Campus as well. So have some fun with these. And most importantly, make these your own. Okay. So the 10 NLP, neuro linguistic programming back questions to engage the modern online automotive shopper. And so just so we have definition of neuro linguistic programming, you can see it here at the bottom. It's a psychological approach that studies the connection between language, behavior, and thought patterns. So it's designed to help us. It's designed to help us better understand how people perceive and process information, using the knowledge to influence communication and behavior for more effective outcomes. That was a mouthful. Whew! So let's hop into it. So some of these questions will sound familiar. Some of them might be a little bit new, or they might inspire you to again edit them for your authenticity. So question number one, what inspired you to start searching online for a vehicle today? Say it one more time. What inspired you to start searching for an online vehicle today? And I like this question because the goal of this is it invokes curiosity and an emotional connection, and then it activates the limbic system, which governs emotions and personal connection. So let's just get English real quick. I love the word inspired, right? What inspired you to start searching online for a vehicle today? Now, when we ask these questions, I wanted you to think ahead of time, what's the customer going to say to these? They're probably going to say the price. They're going to say, maybe I just got in a wreck and totaled my car, which would be unfortunate. Maybe the bills have gotten too high and I need to reduce my payments, or maybe I just got a promotion. But this is why I love this question. What inspired you to start searching searching online for a vehicle today? So use this. This is great as a follow-up question after you've asked that customer. I know some of you on here have done this, where a customer fills out a lead form. They want a make model vehicle. You reach out, hey, we got that make model vehicle available. When do you want to come look at it? Crickets. When this happens, this means that the customer might not be ready for that commitment yet. So now we got to back up a little bit and just ask them, hey, I forgot to ask, what inspired you to look at this make model, this Honda Accord, this BMW, this Mercedes, whatever vehicle that is? So important to find out what actually got them there. And it shows that you actually care when you ask this question. So try that out. Number two, what's the most exciting feature you're looking forward to in your next car? All right. And I like this question because it's already putting them in the thought process of what they're going to get next. All right. And so the science behind this is the question triggers positive emotions, making the customer visualize what it's like to be in their car. And that's exactly what I'm saying. If you can put the vision in your customer's eyes and you can share that experience with your customer, that's next level, because that's what the customers want. They don't want to be sold. They want to have somebody that joins them in the purchasing experience. So try that one out. Number three, which features of your current vehicle would you want to improve? This is so good. The reason why is, think about most people that end up getting in the market, they get in the market because something might have triggered them that's going on with their current vehicle. So maybe it's missing a key feature. Maybe it's missing something in safety. Maybe it's the fuel efficiency, right? They want to save a little dollar at the pump, or they want to go EV, whatever that thing is. What features of your current vehicle would you like to improve? And so the science behind this is it leverages the brain's natural preference for problem solving and positions the new vehicle as a solution. And what I like to add to this as well is that when you're following up with your customers, you now have other things to talk about. Instead of saying, are you still looking for a car? You still want to test drive? You know, all these questions that have been around for like the last 2 centuries, instead of asking those questions, maybe we switch it up and just say, hey, I know you mentioned before that so and so feature on your current vehicle you weren't as crazy about. Are you ready to go ahead and move on to the next step so we can explore the options here? You know what I mean? So it feels different to, it's like, you know, when you follow up that way with a customer, it's almost like picking up on a story where it left off, or it's like watching a series that you watch on one of these apps like Netflix, Prime, whatever, and you stop that series and you pick up on the third episode, the fourth episode, because not every customer wants to binge a conversation with you, right? So some customers are slowly going through their series to purchasing a vehicle. That'd be a whole nother presentation. The series to purchasing your vehicle, right? Are you going to binge watch? Or are you doing one at a time? Okay, let's move on to the next question. I love that. Number 4, how does this vehicle fit into your daily lifestyle? I like this. So this puts them into, and not so much puts the customer in a position, but this helps us, the reps, understand what the customer is actually going to be using the vehicle for and how does it actually fit. Is this a day-to-day driver or is this a vacation driver? Love that. And again, you'll see this word visualize. The science behind this is the future pacing lets the customer visualize themselves owning the car, creating an emotional attachment. Number 5, what's one thing about owning this car that would improve your day-to-day life? So not just your lifestyle, but how is this going to help improve your day-to-day life? Again, the question for us to asking this to the customer, it shows again that we care, that we're intentional, right? And then it helps them visualize what they're doing and us as well. And so here the science behind it is that it focuses on the personal benefits, tapping into the customer's emotional motivation. Number 6, all right, we're getting there. Huh? I told you we were going to go quick. What would help you feel confident about moving forward today? What would help you feel confident about moving forward today? And so the science behind this is this shifts the focus from objections to solutions. Ooh, I love that. Shift the focus from objection to solutions. And this allows the customers to identify their hesitation. So this is really good too. You know, when the customers say, I want to think about it or I'm not ready, you know, these are questions like, hey, what would make you feel more comfortable about moving forward? This is just you and I talking. And that's what I'm going to say. Maybe the price, maybe it's a down payment, maybe it's the interest, whatever those things are, it's again showing that there's some care that's coming from us, but it's also allowing the customer to express, you know, their objection, but then we can also help them find the solution. Love that. Okay, 7, would a personalized walk around video help you get a better feel of this car? You know, I love this question, right? When, you know, breaking down the science, because one, before we even get into the science, the fact that you're offering to do a walk around video already puts you in a whole other category by yourself. But this offers personalization. So the science behind this is that it boosts the engagement by making the customer feel prioritized. So you're making the customer feel important by saying, hey, I'll go ahead and do a video walk around or we can do a virtual call. If that helps you get a better feel for what you want. I love this, y'all. This is all about experience. Can I talk about that real quick? Because when so many dealers, you know, now maybe their inventory, they've got some new cars, you know, maybe the dealers have some used cars on the ground. Maybe the dealers all have a CRM. They all have, maybe some of them are using AI. But at the end of the day, a lot of dealerships, again, we see that they have a lot of what they need to operate. So what separates the dealerships from what they need to operate and which dealership a customer picks is going to be that experience that we deliver. So when we are asking questions with a personalized walk around video, help you get a better feel of this car, or do you want to do a live video? The customer now puts you in that category of like, okay, this dealership values experience. These dealerships value follow up. Big difference. What are you hoping to accomplish with your next vehicle? Very self-explanatory. This is just us getting understanding. Now, the science of this is it gives the customer a sense of purpose, positioning the vehicle as means to reach their goals. Okay, so really good question to ask, just to lean in and ask them. And this is good for a non-engaged shopper. We haven't made any contact with them, so we're just going to ask them, hey, real quick, what are you looking to accomplish with your next vehicle? Right. Next, number 9, we're getting there. Have you already imagined your first drive in this car? I actually like this conversation or this question when we're actually live talking on the phone with the customer, because remember, these questions are designed to get engagement. And so you ever talk to somebody on the phone and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere? It's just like very dry. I mean, this is one of those questions that's like an interview question to me. Like, hey, have you already imagined what you're going to do when you get the car first? And it's a closing question as well, because it's already putting the customer in the vehicle that you have if they start talking about what they're going to do in your specific make model. Make sense? I love that. Number 10, would a virtual test drive help you decide if this is the right fit? So again, very similar to the one that we have earlier about a walk around, but this one is, I'm going to bring you in the car with me. Now, somebody asked recently on a call, how do you do a virtual test drive? So there's different ways. You can get tools. There's like a little magnet you can put on the dash, and you can plug that in with your phone, and you can literally take a drive and let the customer feel as if they're in the car with you. Or you could even put it in the center console. So as you're driving, the customer feels like they're sitting right next to you. You know, imagine if you attached it to the passenger seat. You know, now they're sitting there and they can kind of see you, kind of like if you got the angle, I can see where the customer could almost feel as if they're sitting next to you, even though they're sitting at home. And by the way, I think this is so much of the future. You know, when you see augmented reality, all these ARs and VRs, that's it. Like, I really do feel like, hey, did you want to go ahead and do a virtual test drive? Do you have an Oculus or whatever tool they have? Yeah, I got it. Boom, they put it on. Let's go for a ride. Man, somebody's probably already doing it. And if you are, hats off to you that you're already doing VR and AR with your customers. But for the rest of us, you know, for the rest of you that maybe aren't there yet, I want to you keep aspiring to what's next. What is going to get customers even a better feel of their vehicle and even give them a higher experience than what they were expecting. Okay? I hope you all received that. So now let's get into the 10 NLP, so neuro linguistic programming. My mouth is so juicy mouthed to say that. Back questions to move from a contact to setting an appointment to get them to the dealership. Okay, so let's get into that. I'm not going to read, but I'll just remind you, the science of these questions is designed to help us better understand how people perceive and process information. All right, so we use this knowledge so we can influence communication and behavior to get more effective outcomes. So number 1, which day this week works best for a virtual or in-person test drive? Pretty self-explanatory here, but you'd be shocked at how many people will say, when would you like to come in? You know, that's too broad. So when you can say which day this week, which time works best for you, you're now giving the customer some options that they know what to think of. And so there's going to be some other ways to ask this question here, because I know some of you might be like, I wanted them here today, right now. We've got that too. But again, these are other questions that lead to a higher level of experience. Pay attention to the words, virtual or in person. So what you're letting the customer know is like, hey, if you're too far away and you can't make it to us, or if you're too busy, we got options for you. All right. Number 2, would it be more convenient to start the finance app online before your visit? Whew. I know some people here and it's like, stop, Duran, stop. Because there's still dealerships in 2024 that operate in this sense of don't give the customer too much information or they're not going to come. I cannot strongly I'm unable to disagree more with that statement because to me, people value their time. So if you allow customers to spend more time with your team and get more information with your store, the less likely that customer is going to want to do that all over again at another dealership. They got to deal with a whole nother personality. They got to deal with a whole nother process, whole nother technology. Who really wants to do that? And then who really honestly wants a customer that wants to do that with 5 other dealerships? If a customer wants to do that 5 different times, let their information be pulled by 5 different people, work deals with 5 different stores, that might not be the right customer for us. Just saying, right? So would it be more convenient to start the finance app online before your visit? Doesn't mean the customer can't come in. This is just letting the customer know, hey, if you'd like to save a little bit of time before you come in, we can help you do that. Nothing wrong with that. And then making sure that we find out, hey, what's the next step you'd like to do after you submit it? Or actually, what time would you like to set after you submitted that app? So you're still getting the appointment. You're just letting them know that, hey, I'm going to help you save as much time as possible. So when you get here, you can get out. 3, if I send you a quick trade-in estimate link, like a KBB, trade pending, Carfax, whatever, would that help move things along? Again, this is not saying that the customer can't come in, they've got to get an appraisal. This is just saying, hey, we've got tools on our website. Would that help for you to use that tool before you come in? Does not mean that that's our value, but some of our customers do that to just help save time and we collect a little bit of information about your car. Again, offering something of value makes the customer feel like they're receiving before they have to give anything. Number 4, would you prefer to experience the vehicle firsthand in the morning or afternoon? And so I love this because, again, this is giving those customers the options instead of just focusing and just like, hey, when you want to come out here. Like, hey, let them know, like, and give them some times. I'm not saying that we got to do the whole 10:15, 2:45. People have heard that for the last, again, 2 centuries. I know I keep saying that, but I think even when there was horses and donkeys and mules, whatever they rode, I'm sure there was like, hey, do you want to do 1:15 or 2:45 to look at it? Like, come on. Hey, talk to me about your work schedule based on how you work. What's going to work best? Did you want to come in after work or did you want to come in during lunchtime? We'll move it around their life, not ours. We know what we want, but what's more important is what they want, right? Number 5, how can we make your experience smooth before you come in? Oh, man, like butter, plant-based butter. Just joking. But anyways, how can we make your experience smooth before you come in? All this is letting the customer know is you're committed. We are committed to making sure when that customer shows up, it's an easy experience. How many other dealerships are asking questions like that? Like, hey, before you come in, how can I make this a smooth experience? Right? Who wouldn't want to hear that as a customer? Now, we obviously have to follow through on that if we're going to ask those questions. So if we ask the question, hey, how can we make your experience smooth before you come to the dealership? And the customer says, hey, well, if you could send me the Carfax and you send me a few more pieces of information and an application link so I can explore those options. And we got to deliver on that and follow through on that. But what do you think the customer is going to do once you follow through on that? That's what's so beautiful. Number 6, would having all paperwork ready when, let me say this again, would having all paperwork ready ahead of time help make your visit more convenient? And again, some people are like, oh my gosh, this means that we're trying to keep them from coming in and this is giving too much information. Absolutely not. Think about this. If the customer says yes to would having all paperwork ready ahead of time help make your visit more efficient, that's the customer pretty much saying, I'm good with everything. I'm just going to come in and make sure the car is good, you people are good, and everything works out with the paperwork, and we're gone. That's who wouldn't want that? And then imagine the story that the customer says after that, like that testimony. Like, man, I literally came in there, they had the paperwork ready, and I literally just drove and signed off. And that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is so much of what most people are looking for. And I know there's dealers out here that are already doing that, and it's out to you. But the ones that are not, A/B test this. Don't do it with every customer if you want to challenge the thought process of what I'm saying. Just pick one rep and say, hey, every time you get a customer, I want you to ask them, would you like for us to have all the paperwork ready before you come in? because to me, it's really a good closing tool because that lets you know where the customers are, like the temperature gauge. But on the other side of that, what's the worst thing they can say? No. The best thing they can say, have it all ready and make sure the car is spit shine because I'm ready to take it, baby. Okay, next, number 7. If we showed how we can save you money, would that move you forward? And so I put in here, this could be finance, this could be payments, this could be insurance. There's all kinds of other ways that you can help customers save money. But again, that's science here saying that we're here for you, and not here just to try to make a bunch of money on you, but maybe there's a way that we can help save you some money. And so the science here is just helping the customers reduce a little anxiety if they do have it. Excuse me. Number 8, would seeing how other customers are benefiting from our offers help you decide? I'll say it again. Would seeing how other customers are benefiting from our offers help you decide? And, the science here is that one of the most influential behaviors, one of the most powerful influences on human behavior is what other people have to say. That's the social proof. I have to agree with this. I'll tell a quick story. This is really good. So there's a story where I was just at a dealership recently, and the rep was telling me, because they're part of a group, so it's a large dealership group, and they have the same brand, right? So they got multiple of the same brand, same OEM, and so they got 2 of the same OEMs in the same town. So in one town, one city, and they got 2 OEMs. So the rep sets an appointment for the customer to come in, and the customer calls back the day of the appointment and says, "Hey, just so you know, I'm not going to come into the store you told me. I'm going to the other dealership that they have." And she's like, "Wait, why? Why would you do that?" She said, "Because I was in a Lyft yesterday after I spoke to you, and the Lyft driver told me that I should go to that other dealership that's part of the group, not the one that I was supposed to go to, because that one gave them such a great experience." Wait, what? Think about that. The customer didn't even know the Lyft driver like that. The Lyft driver gave this customer a ride. Obviously, she's needing transportation. That's why she's getting another vehicle. But the Lyft driver told her the experience was so good at the other location that that's where you need to go get the same vehicle that you want from the other store. And they're all part of the same company. How powerful is that? That is social proof. That's experience. And that is a raving fan at a high level. Think about it. Side note, Lyft and Uber drivers, make sure if you sell them a car, treat them very well because some of them talk. Maybe it wasn't that premium one where they got to be quiet and it's real awkward silence. This must have been the one where they were having some conversation. And what are the odds of that? So really good and good proof for social proof. Number 9, would it help to set aside time to walk you through financing options before your visit? And of course, I'm a big fan of this because we're talking about time. This isn't about the finance app. This is about time. This isn't about the finance app. This is about experience. This isn't about the finance app. This is about a customer becoming loyal to your store because you did something that most customers want to do before they come to a dealership. Number 10, would walking you through a video tour of the vehicle features make you feel more confident? So if a customer is not ready to come in yet, this is just saying like, "Hey, I'm talking to you. Let's just do a quick virtual call. We can go through the car together." All right. So I hope you enjoy these as much as I did. They're different. And I'm not saying that go in here and try all of them. I know some dealers and some managers might be cringing, but here's what I'm going to say. Only cringe if you're already doing an excellent job and you don't need to improve or get better. Then don't use any of these questions because you're already closing at 18, 20% or higher. But if you're closing below the average, the industry average, or below the cage KPIs of that 20% number or 15% that we want to be at, then I would encourage us, let's look into some of these questions and let's change our language. Let's change the culture of what we're doing because most dealerships are not talking like this. And a lot of the things that I said in these questions that I have in this PowerPoint, most of these questions could be answered on your website. Like a lot of these tools are all there on the website. So why not have conversations about it anyways? There's no secret. Your pricing, most of us have digital tools. We've got payments, we got pricing, we've got trade tool, we got finance app. We have all these things on our website. but then yet we get scared to tell customers to use these tools. And so if we're scared to have conversations to use these tools because we're scared that customers are going to do it and not come in, then why would we have these tools on our website in the first place? All right, get in some trouble for this one. Okay, number one. So these are, let me back up. This is a bonus section of 5 neurolinguistic programming based call to actions that we can use to increase engagement. So one, sending a finance application, and some of you are already doing that. This is when that customer's not really engaging and they did not do a finance app. You could use something like, hey, some of our customers like to save time, and one way they do that is by doing get pre-approved online or submit a finance application. Is that something you'd like to do? If so, here's the link here. There's one. Number 2, are you curious about a trade-in value? You can get an estimate before you come in. These are for the people that did not submit a trade-in, and maybe they're kind of concerned about that. So you're just kind of playing like, hey, if you're concerned about this, we have a tool to help you, to give you an estimate. But of course, we look forward to giving you the actual value when we can have a conversation with you. Number 3, test drive scheduling link. Choose your preferred time and book your test drive online. So we could actually create booking links. Some of us have it on the website, or we can actually do one where we just pull in a third-party link for online. And in that way, the customers can now book the time that they want to come in based on their schedule, not ours. I love that. 4, would you like to go ahead and get a personalized walk around? Click here. Well, we'll actually record the video, and then now you've got it right here. And the best thing about having a video that's hosted on like a program like a co-video, or you could use like a Snapcell, anything like that, whatever tool you use, is that it's trackable and it lets you know, did the customer get the full experience of the video? And if not, maybe there's a reason why. We can learn from that. Kind of like how I learn from when I send these videos out. I know who's all actually watching them. Not you specifically, but I can like see the data of how much it got watched. Okay, I'll stop. I don't want it to get scary. Online review invitation, the last one. See what our customers are saying, read our reviews. And check this out. It says studies show that 92% of consumers read online reviews before making a purchase decision. 92%. So I would say right now, if I'm everybody watching this, hop over to your Google reviews, take a look at what's there. Is this the real representation of your dealership? Now, let's take it a step further. Which of those reviews can we use to help customers feel more important so we can send it to them proactively so they don't have to go and look at the Google reviews, even though they probably still are anyways, but be transparent about some good ones and some ones that were maybe not the best, but how you handled it. I think I would love to see transparency at that level, and I know most customers do as well. So thank you all so much. Gratitude for each of you that took time to be here with me and to hear this presentation that we put together. And hey, let's keep evolving. And that's what I have right here. Let's keep evolving the experience through science-based communication mixed with our true human authenticity. And yes, I wrote that. Nobody else wrote that. I did that. Let's keep evolving the experience through science-based communication mixed with our true human authenticity. I hope y'all receive that. Appreciate you so much. Be well.